Hello, it's nice to have you join us on the news at 5, live from Channels Television. I'm Dominic Iwiwa, and these are the stories and reports we're tracking at the moment. President Bola Tinubu has written to the Senate requesting the confirmation of Professor Joash Amupiton as chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. The letter, read by Senate President Godswill Akpabio during plenary, also contained other presidential communications and appointments requiring legislative approval. According to the correspondence, the nomination aligns with constitutional provisions mandating Senate's confirmation for key national appointments. The Senate has referred the request to the Committee of the Whole for further legislative action and screening. With this, the process for confirming Nigeria's new electoral umpire officially begins. The Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, is urging the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to use all off-cycle elections to rebuild the trust of citizens ahead of the 2027 general election. The chairman of IPAC, Mr. Yusuf Dantale, made the appeal at a meeting of political party leaders and the electoral umpire in Abuja. Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has restated its commitment to ensure that votes count and elections reflect the wish of the people.
It's less than a month to the November 8th governorship election in Anambra State, and the acting national chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Mrs. Mary Agbamuchi, is presiding over a meeting with the leadership of political parties in the country. The meeting has three agendas, namely the forthcoming Anambra governorship election, the area council elections in the Federal Capital Territory, and an update on the nationwide voter registration exercise.
The Commission has been working assiduously and making arrangements for the successful conduct of the Anambra State governorship election, and have had several engagements with the security agencies at national, state, and local government levels. The area council election in the FCT scheduled for 21st February 2026 will be held in 68 constituencies, made up of chairmen and their deputies for the 6 area councils. On the part of the Commission, I will wish to assure you of our commitment to deepening democracy through inclusive, transparent, and credible electoral processes.
The meeting also provides opportunity for political parties to speak to the electoral umpire on the integrity of the electoral process.
From your impressive...
Represented by the chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, the political parties urge INEC to take advantage of the Anambra election and other off-cycle elections to rebuild the trust of citizens on its ability to conduct credible elections.
With the new leadership, citizens' expectations are high, very high. The Commission should justify the confidence the nation reposed in it. This is the only way to rebuild trust in the electoral process and encourage mass participation in the future polls. INEC should put this act together and get it right. The success of the off-cycle election, this off-cycle election will set the stage for the upcoming elections in 2026, including the Federal Capital Territory Area Council polls, Osun and Ekiti States gubernatorial elections, and the decisive 2027 general election.
The Anambra governorship election is only 3 weeks away, and the success or failure of this exercise rests so much on the shoulders of the acting national chairman of INEC, the commissioners, as well as the political parties, their candidates, and their supporters' willingness to play by the rules.
The Senate has established a 12-member ad hoc committee to address serious international allegations concerning state-backed persecution and potential genocide targeting Christians in Nigeria. The decision was reached during a closed-door session today, following deliberations on claims by the U.S. government regarding the situation in parts of the country. This move by the Senate is a direct response to increasing diplomatic scrutiny and the potential damage to Nigeria's international reputation and interfaith relations. The committee is tasked with advising the legislature and drafting a comprehensive position paper for both the executive and the Senate. This document must be backed by verifiable facts and statistics and will shape Nigeria's official legislative stance in ongoing global discussions. Key members of the committee include Senator Victor Ume, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, Senator Abdul Ningi, and others. The committee is expected to report back soon. Over in Anambra State, the people of Awka North have thrown their full support behind Governor Chukwuma Soludo's re-election bid. At a rally tagged "Thank You Awka North," residents and community leaders presented a check of 150 million naira to boost the governor's campaign.
Community, venue of the Thank You rally for Governor Chukwuma Soludo. Supporters, traditional rulers and youth groups from across Awka North gathered to celebrate what they describe as the governor's transformational achievements in their local government area. Over the past 3 years, the Soludo administration has constructed more than 55 kilometers of roads in Awka North, alongside major interventions in education, healthcare, and youth empowerment.
Mr. Governor.
Taking the podium, the mayor of Awka North, Thangod Anago, said the area has fully adopted Soludo as its project, assuring that residents will lead his re-election campaign.
Mr. Governor, Awka North has no division of APC or Labour Party. We are all Soludo. You don't need to campaign here. We're doing that for you.
Backing the sentiment, community leader Fidelis Mweke praised the governor as a promise keeper who has delivered the long-awaited development in Awka North.
You're a promise keeper. The people of Awka North say thank you for bringing light where there was darkness.
The rally also featured solidarity messages from various community groups, including the Hausa community, all pledging continued support for the governor.
By the will of God, it's going to be actually done.
Addressing the crowd, Governor Soludo expressed gratitude for the gesture, reaffirming his commitment to sustaining development across the state.
There is nothing we want Awka North to be that it cannot be. Some natural resources, I even understand there is some gas deposit. So Awka North can be just another industrial heaven.
The highlight of the event is the presentation of a check of 150 million naira to the governor, a contribution towards his re-election campaign. Governor Soludo promised to deepen investment in agriculture and technology, assuring more opportunities for the youths of Awka North.
Over now to Enugu State, where Governor Peter Mbah has officially defected from the opposition People's Democratic Party to join the ruling All Progressives Congress. Governor Mbah announced a high-profile switch during a statewide broadcast to the people of Enugu State. He defended his decision by stating the move was essential to align the southeastern states with the central government for effective governance and development. Mr. Mbah went on to commend the policies of President Bola Tinubu, acknowledging that the state has received significant support under the current administration. The move sees the governor join the ruling party alongside a major delegation, including members of the State House of Assembly, council chairmen, councillors, and numerous other party officials. Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborowori and Akwa Ibom State Governor Umo Eno moved to the ruling party with all their officials and appointees earlier in the year.
There comes always a time when everyone must make a bold choice to determine their destiny. Today, after a long reflection, we have made the decision to leave the People's Democratic Party and join the All Progressives Congress. It is a collective move by the political family in Enugu State, comprising members of the National Assembly, members of the State House of Assembly, the State Executive Council, all the local government chairmen, all councillors, all political appointees, and over 80% of party executives. Today, in joining the All Progressives Congress, we're embracing a visionary partnership. I have found in His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, not just a leader of our nation, but a partner in purpose, a man with the courage to look beyond today and make the tough choices that secure lasting prosperity for tomorrow.
The Nigerian army has arrested a suspected notorious gun runner with large cache of weapons in Rivers State. Speaking at a press briefing in Bori Camp, Port Harcourt, Acting Director of Army Public Relations, Lieutenant Colonel Danjuma, said the suspect, Peter Onyali Chibweze, was caught while attempting to recover firearms concealed in a sack of clothes. He reiterated the Army's commitment to dismantling criminal networks and safeguarding communities within the region.
You will recall, sometimes in September this year, troops of the division busted a notorious gun-running syndicate. The operation led to the recovery of 2 English pistols, 4 locally fabricated pistols, and a double-barrel gun. Additionally, it was established that the arrested gun runners were engaged in arms courier deals using Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Rivers, and Delta Bayelsa states as corridors. In order to consolidate on the successes achieved thus far, today we are here essentially to parade yet another gun runner arrested during the course of our operations. This arrest marks a significant milestone in the ongoing operations in the Niger Delta region.
The Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, has flagged off Operation Safeguard the Road in Kogi State to enhance the efficiency of federal roads in the state. Speaking during the event, the Zonal Director in charge of North Central Zone, Mr. Awudin Daniel, says the initiative aims to address some critical challenges encountered by road travelers.
Officials of the Federal Road Maintenance Agency in Kogi State, community and youth leaders, as well as personnel of the Federal Road Safety Commission, converge on Ochadamu along Itobe Ajaokuta Road to launch the Operation Safeguard the Road initiative. The program involves getting communities along federal roads and motorists to contribute to maintaining the roads by ensuring that drainages are cleared and dirts are not disposed indiscriminately on the road. According to FEMA and the Federal Road Safety Corps, the initiative will help make highways comfortable for road users.
We are also using this program to discourage road vandalism and abuses such as dumping of refuges on our drainages, unauthorized cutting of the road, and stealing of road facilities such as bridge, handrail, and road signs. If the road is safe and the drivers themselves are careful and they maintain their vehicle properly, I believe we'll get to our destination without any issue. So please, whatever FEMA has done or government has done, let's protect it.
Without much ado, the program is flagged off as youths engaged for the operation clear the grasses along the road. The team also carries out similar operation along Kaba Road in Okene Town, where the silting of line drainage was carried out. With the operation, FEMA warns against indiscriminate dumping of refuse in drainages as residents pledge to keep vigilance.
Our mandate is to maintain all federal roads. But what we have been having is the issue of fund. So as much as funds are made available, we'll try to attend to all the phase sections that are on federal roads.
We are going to help the federal government too to participate in packing out all these refuse inside the drainage.
The Federal Road Maintenance Agency believes the Operation Safeguard the Road initiative will enhance safety, reduce road crashes and travel time, among other benefits.
Still ahead on the news at 5, IMF releases its World Economic Outlook. That's in the world of business in a moment when we return. Welcome back. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFund, Mr. Akintade Soya, has announced that the NELFund portal is now temporarily open for verification of undergraduate students by their respective institutions. Speaking on Channels Television's breakfast program, The Morning Brief, Mr. Soya explained that the verification process must be completed by school management before eligible students can apply for the loan. He also outlined the necessary criteria for application, emphasizing that transparency and accountability remain central to the loan disbursement process. On the ongoing ASU strike, the NELFund boss expressed optimism that all parties will reach a compromise that safeguards students' educational interests.
So far, we have 581,000 beneficiaries and about 846,000 applications. The portal has opened temporarily for verification. Of course, the verification that we require would need to be done by the management of the institutions. The verification directly affect the students. So the students will only get the loans when at the final hurdle the institutional management have verified it. So you have to have NIN, you have to have a JAM registration number, you have to have access the institution using JAM, you have to have a matriculation number or an admission number to show that you've been properly admitted into the institution. The institution must be government-owned, federal or state government-owned. We only do undergraduate programs, so anything that is postgraduate is automatically excluded for now. We also don't do part-time courses. The minister is very focused on students, and I think all of these discussions, anything that is done, will be centered around the benefit of the students, even by, the unions, the academic staff unions and the other unions. I know that part of what they're doing also has put the students at the center of their intentions, their actions, their activities.
In the world of business, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has released its latest World Economic Outlook for this year and 2026. During a hybrid press briefing at the ongoing annual meetings with the World Bank in Washington, USA, the IMF projects global economic growth to slow from 3.3% recorded in 2024 to 3.2% this year and 3.1% in 2026. Further highlights of the WEO forecast advanced the economy's growth at around 1.5%, while emerging market and developing economies would be at just above 4%. Specifically, the IMF upgraded Nigeria's economic growth forecast, projecting 3.9% expansion for this year and 4.2% in 2026. The IMF also projects inflation to continue to decline globally, with variation across countries. In its recommendations, the multilateral institution asks policymakers to pair trade diplomacy with macroeconomic adjustments, rebuild fiscal buffers, preserve central banks' independence, and redouble their efforts on structural reforms. Meanwhile, the IMF has renewed its focus on tracing illicit financial flows and efforts that could help plug Nigeria's fiscal leakages. The managing director of the Global Multilateral Institution, who made this known while engaging with civil society organizations at the ongoing 2025 annual meetings at the IMF and World Bank in Washington, D.C. She warned of the growing threat of illicit financial flows, phenomenon which, according to her, has become a major factor undermining the economic and financial stability of countries across the globe. The IMF chief explained that illicit financial flows, which include stolen public funds, proceeds from criminal activities, and untraceable digital transactions, continue to erode governance systems, drain public resources, and cripple developmental efforts, especially in developing economies. And our reactions are trading the central bank's recent revised guideline for POS operators regarding transaction limits for customers. According to the acting president of the Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria, Mr. Obioha Oti, the CBN's latest directive will have a negative impact on both the banking agents and individuals residing in rural areas, as this would reduce the number of customers and affect the amount of money they would require to meet their daily obligations. Mr. Oti was a guest on our Business Morning program earlier today.
With this new circular that account opening is non-permissible in agent location, that's a very big problem. And let me even emphasize this. A lot of agents are already making money from account opening alone. Now, the cash in and cash out activities that is permissible, according to this circular now, there is a limit. An agent cannot do more than 1.2 million a day. And the limit does not only apply to the agent, it equally applies to the customer. So a customer cannot do more than 100,000 a day, including bill payments and associated transactions. So let's just do a simple math. If a typical agent can only do 1.2 million a day, and a customer can only do 100,000 a day, which means you can only attend to 12 customers, all things being equal, if each of the customers are withdrawing to the limit. So that is what I mean by this is going to affect a lot of things. Financial inclusion is going to affect the motivation for agents to continue to operate in the agency banking industry.
Anglo-Dutch energy giant Shell, local subsidiary and partner Sunlick Energies and Resources Limited have signed a $2 billion final investment decision on the high offshore gas project in Nigeria. This follows the recent investment decisions related to the Bonga deep water development. A statement by the Shell Nigeria Exploration and Production Company Limited, SNEPCO, says upon its completion, the project will supply 350 million standard cubic feet of gas per day at peak production to Nigeria LNG, which produces and exports liquefied natural gas to global markets. The production is expected to begin before the end of this decade. The high field, which was discovered in 1985, lies in 100 meters of water depth, around 50 kilometers from the shore. The average price of 1 kilogram cylinder of cooking gas has sustained the increase recorded last week, climbing from a previous 1,000 naira to about 2,000 naira per kilogram in some parts of the country. This originally follows the recent strike by the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Pengasin, during its disputes with the Dangote Petroleum Refinery over unionization matter almost 2 weeks ago, which temporarily halted the loading of liquefied petroleum gas. However, the situation has worsened due to reports alleging that the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ekperikwe Ekpo, has ordered a clampdown on marketers hoarding the commodity in order to exploit consumers amid the current scarcity. Meanwhile, the minister has appealed for calm and understanding from Nigerians, assuring them that the development is temporary amid the ongoing maintenance activities at the Nigerian LNG Train 4 facility and would normalize by next week. And that's it on the news at 5. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Up next is The World Today. Enjoy the rest of your evening.